Hi, I'm Tom Hignite. We're going to do another shot of guerrilla shooting here today. We have our 3-story home, Dream 2000, with a 3rd floor put on it and a master bedroom. So if you can walk with me, try to take a look at the house as we go. As you know, guerrilla shooting is no scripts, no lighting, and our lighting is quickly leaving as we have late in the day here. And one thing you'll see with this driveway is we did a curved driveway. If you can maybe pan down just a little bit, you can see how we did this long curve, and we curved our plant beds into it. So you can see how there'll be a lamp post here, but you can see how we curved our lamp post flower beds rather into the landscape plan. Everything is sort of curved. Come on up a little closer. And you'll see how here we've even taken this broad curve that's going into the sidewalk. We've done 2 sidewalks going up to the front door. This one we protruded out a little bit here, and it goes into the flower beds. Then we have another sidewalk that kind of goes around this way. So we have these concentric circles working. Look at the beds. This sidewalk here has a rampless entry system. Well, stepless. It is a ramp. So you walk up the sidewalk. It's been sloped up to the front door. And this one here has a little bit of a step to it, so it's a little quicker to get over there. But if you have anybody in a wheelchair, this works out great. We even designed a little spot over here to put a couple of flower pots and a bench in between. This house is being moved into. It's actually been bought, and the folks have been good enough to let us shoot it here today. So this is the last possible moment, 6 in the morning. All of our furniture comes out of here. Come on in. Or at least come a little closer. I can show you some things up on the front porch if we still have enough daylight. This is a sort of a unique exterior to this home. Quite a bit of stone on the home, and it has 2 twin patios on the front. Take a look at this side first. From that end, what you're seeing is a wall that we brought up here, a little bit of a slope to the top here, and that hides some of the furniture that's up here, because you wouldn't like to have patio furniture on your front deck if it was, or your front porch, if it was real apparent. Step around in this direction. Let me show you how that looks from you're standing right by the front door now, so stay there. This is sized, windowed, this window is sized, you can tell it's late in the day, tongue doesn't work, for a 55-inch TV diagonal. Outdoor speakers, here and here, and we call this an indoor-outdoor TV. So the TV is placed from the inside of the house. It's not in there right now, so all you're seeing is a window. And there's a garage on the other side. I'm going to walk toward you. Don't get too dizzy here now. And you can follow me over to this side. We have a open house sign here. We won't want our camera person to trip on that. But yeah, you can stay there for a moment. You can see what we've done here. So we've done sort of a 10 by 12 patio over on this side, and we've done a drain in the middle, just like the other side. I didn't point it out, but there's a drain there as well. And we did a really nice, iconic sort of an anchor point here at the end of the house, made out of stone. So it imitates the pillars in the house somewhat. This is hardy plank siding, and you can see we're doing a little bit of barn board treatment up here in between the windows. Quite a nice detailed house here. And now we're going to ask you to step backwards just a little bit so that I can march you into the front door. If our camera gives out, we're very low on batteries, so you may have a very odd edit coming up here soon. Okay, fiberglass front door, keypad, touch entry. If I touch the wrong code, it goes red on me. If I touch the right code, it'll go green. So let's see. It's already open, so I don't need any code. And it allows me to work for about 15 seconds before it goes dead. You can just put a key in and work it in a normal fashion if you prefer. Beautiful front door with some stained glass on it. As you come in the home, I'm going to step out of the way and give you your first impression of the room. Take a look up. We have a drywall mural. This house has some very special things in it. I'm going to kick off my shoes in deference to the house and the new owners. And you can stay there. I'm going to give you a little bit of a sense of proportion of size so that you understand how big this room is. This is about it's our normal Dream 2000, where this room is about 16 feet by about 30 feet in this direction. And the unusual thing about this home is that this lot has a wooded ravine on the side of the house. Most model homes you go and see, the view is going to be off the back. We needed a view off the side. So this has a great view to the side. If you step over there a little bit by the dining room door, I'll give you a little different view of this whole thing. We have a double set of windows here. This is not a patio door. We have a double set of windows way down there and a real patio door here in the middle. The fireplace, we're trying to recreate the Northwoods Lodge in this house, and the fireplace is a focal point of a Northwoods Lodge. So we have the angled pillars, just like you saw outside on the front of the fireplace, and we have a 55-inch TV there, but over that 55-inch TV you can see that we're soaring all the way up about 17 feet tall with this wonderful fireplace front. This has a mural built into it, and maybe you can step a little closer and take a look at this mural. You can get a little better idea of the drywall detail from MK Drywall. They did a fantastic job. We draw this out on graph paper, and we sit here and there's a tree incorporated, at least a half a tree. You can see we've done a real graphic job of that. We've got layers of drywall, 3 layers. You've got the first layer, second layer is the leaves, as it were, and the third layer on top of that are the branches. Around the upper area here, if you look a little closer, and it's a little hard to see with the light, but we have wood up here. This is a 1x8, and it's been angled on the top and bottom and put in like you would a piece of crown molding going around here. But the mural that's above this plant shelf is what's so outstanding. This is a 4-layer of drywall, and it's done with drywall grooves as well. We'll look at that a little more when we get upstairs, assuming we get upstairs with the battery power we have left. The flooring in this house, I don't know if you can get a good view of this flooring, but if you look down, this is elm. It has a hand-scraped look. It's an engineered product. It has a very long warranty against refinish, and it is solid wood on the top and then plywood, a laminated product. But we've used 2 different colors. This is a darker color, this is a medium color, and we've mixed it up. You may have seen we've done that in other homes where we've mixed up striped floor. You have one stripe of a dark color, another stripe next to it of a medium, and kind of makes a nice look. This is the first time we've ever done it with sort of a random look of light or mediums and darks, so that makes it kind of nice. While you're at that angle, take a look what we did for our stairs here. Instead of having a normal post, which holds up a beam, by the way, which is in here, we angled this. We made another layer of drywall on here. This is another layer. And we put some fun things going on with the trees. The theme of the house is outdoors. Take a look in that direction. Let's go. We're taking you ring around the rosy. Stay right back there for the moment. And look at what we've done here. If you can see, that contrast might be a little hard to see. We didn't want this to jump out at you like you were in nursery school, so we used muted colors. But you have a very tall tree going all the way up here with the trunk of it here and with the branches coming off in that direction. And then we see our camera light blinking, which might mean we're going to run out of battery soon. Let's see if we can get one more item in. If you can step over in that direction. Nope, not toward me, just to the side there. Thank you. I think you get a better shot of this. This is a half wall by the stairs. So if you're counting, we had the one over the fireplace, we had the big one, mural that is, we had a big mural, drywall mural there, and another one right here. So we're kind of enclosing the house with this leaf and tree motif. But here's another thing we're doing with the house. If you can see the walls below it, maybe you can get a good view from here. Put my back to the camera if you don't mind. Take a look at what we've done here. We've built out what we would call a log cabin look. Now this is subliminal. It's not supposed to say, hey, I'm a log cabin, but it's supposed to give you the suggestion that it might be a log cabin. This is a contemporary take on the Northwoods Lodge, as I mentioned. And here you can see how this has been actually very meticulously drywalled with cornering going in and out, in and out, in and out, all the way around. And if we swing you around to get you dangerously seasick here, you'll see it over in this part. From a distance, you can see what we have going on with that lighting, because here we have lighting that's playing on the top of it. This is a dining room. It's about 13.5 feet long. It's not really a dining room, it's a dinette, but it could be used as a dining room. We have a granite countertop over here. Behind the granite countertop, we have controls for the television behind this island. And your kitchen here is pretty well set up. I love the lighting in this house. If you can get a little closer look of this. This is Beat It lighting. It gives you the effect of stained glass, but it's not, of course. It's Beat It lighting, hence the name. If you spin around one more time, I want to show you some more lighting, and look at the ceiling here while we're doing it, if you would. Mr. Cameraman, if you could get over here real low and try to just aim up at the ceiling from your best vantage point possible, you can lose me. Believe me, the ceiling is a lot more interesting than looking at a big guy in a suit. So there you have the ceiling. We've done some beam work up there. You can see how we've hung the Beat It lighting from the middle of these areas. They almost give you the impression of stained glass. Again, it's a contemporary version. We don't have to have stained glass, but we have the drywall painted and done in such a way that it looks like an unusual beam system up on the ceiling with patterns in the middle of where the beams are. So now you've got a good look at that. We'll get you off of the floor. Good for you. Step on over here. We have another outdoor TV area on the side of the house, because the side of the house will be where the main patio will be. We don't have a patio in this home, and you can see back here without taking a close-up of it. It's not all cleaned up just yet, but it has another window back here. And this window is where we can put in a 55-inch TV, and the speakers are outdoors, so it works out great. Hey, take a look at the lighting that we have on these tables. This is more of a decorating tip, nothing to do with home building, but it has something to do with decorating. If you stand back just a little bit, you can see how when you have a really tall ceiling here, if I had a light that was just this tall, it kind of becomes segregated. So you've got low area, high area. This light shafts up about 8 feet because it's on a table, but it's about a 6-foot light, and it really draws your attention up. We have 3 of these in the room, 1, 2, and 1 right where you are over there. This, excuse me, this house handles 3 couches, well, love seat and 2 couches, is how it's decorated. In the normal version of this house, it's the precise size room, except in the normal version of the house, the Dream 2000 that is, we don't have this bump out. Now, we're a custom home builder, so when I say normal version, I'm referring to models that we have. So if you step back there just a little bit and try to get a picture of this alcove, I'm going to close the door. I'm sure that doesn't help with light at this time of the day. But normally the front door is right here. Okay, front door, we normally put a closet right here to hang your coats up in. In this one, we have 2 closets, here and here. And we offer this house as a ranch version. Now, in the ranch version, the bedrooms stick out in front of the house, right over here. And this one closet here actually isn't here. It becomes a hallway going into the bedrooms on this side. So you have 2 bedrooms and a bathroom in this direction. We've never built one, but it's designed. And we still have a closet on this side. So this bump out is something we added to the home to make it a little larger, a little more luxurious. We also have hard surface floors. If you want to take a look over here, I know I already showed you the elm floor, but take a look at how it joins up into this. Put my shoes out of the way. A nice flush entryway in. Don't have a lip there at all. That was done by FloorQuest, and they put caulk here instead of grout so it doesn't flake out over the years. You can see how we've done a nice pattern on the tile. We've used different colors and mixed it up a little bit, so it doesn't just look like your standard square tiles or put in diamond shapes. It has some interest going to it. Let's go in this room over here. This room over here, we'll circle back and do the kitchen in a moment. This room over here is a flexible room. It's probably going to be used as a dining room by most people. But because of its proximity right where you are off of the foyer, and because it also has close proximity to the kitchen, and because we happen to hang a low light in here where we could have hung a high one, this would make a perfect dining room. It's about 14.5 feet long, 11 foot wide. We have an alcove here where you could put a hutch. So it's a little over 6 feet, so you can put a hutch there. Take a look at the ceiling, what we've done here, and the treatments. We have these wall insets. We have crown molding. It looks like a plaster type crown molding. and we've used a very simple edging of an angle to give it a nice sort of a contemporary flavor to it. We could have put this with a fancy edging and made it colonial. You can see with the light fixtures and things where it's a little bit more rustic, or a little bit more refined rustic, maybe would be the right word. Over here, this angled corner, ceiling follows it with the angle. But this is a natural fiber. I hate to call it wallpaper because it's really not wallpaper, but it's the closest thing I can refer to it as. It comes in a roll just like wallpaper, but it is a grass or a reed type product mixed with thread, and it's put on with a very heavy paste, very much like wallpaper. And you can see on this wall we have it too. So we're not doing the whole room in it, but we've kind of bookended the room with a little splash of it here and a little splash of it, excuse me, over here. This also leads through, I mentioned it's close to the kitchen. It's also close to a powder room. Sometimes this room becomes not a master, but a flexible room where it could become a bedroom on the first floor. So you could put a door here, okay? Take a look in here. This is sort of a pretty area. We have a beautiful sink here, little pump style handle, and curved front on here. This, good luck trying to see it. Believe me though, it's got a really pretty little drawer down here, and these doors are on soft hinges. Very nice. So as long as you're in that position, step back 2 steps. Take a look at our door toppers. This is a nice little detail feature. The door toppers on these, just another little piece of wood, rounded, returned, mitered on the sides here. Flat wood. Give it that sort of a simple craftsman type look. We're going in this direction. Let's go with the flow. Now, this would normally be a door right here in our Dream 2000 version, but this is the version that has a master on the first floor. So it's a little different. Instead of having the door here, this would all be laundry room. There'd be another door right here that would go into the garage. Well, we have a passage hallway here. Goes by that bathroom on that side. Believe me, it's there. And another, and the dining room on this side. But take a look at this room. I'm surprised the batteries have lasted this long. We forgot to recharge them today, so we're on our life support here. But here you see what we've done is a gorgeous big room here. We have lockers here, and these lockers have hooks on the wall, and these lockers also have hanging right here. So you can hang things, you can put some shoes in the bottom if you so choose. Look at that, somebody left the drill bit. All right, bonus today. Anyway, we have a little counter over here to fold wash on. And because this laundry room is joining a wall with the master bedroom, we've made this like you would an apartment. We actually built 2 walls and put about a 1/2 inch of airspace between them. There's other ways to do it, but that's how we did it here. I'm gonna come toward you and go toward the doorway here, which leads into the garage. If there's any daylight left, this is the time to get it. Excuse me. Come on in. This is appearing to be a 2-car garage. This is a TV alcove that was, I said we had a window before, and look at that. You can plug in the TV. Normally you place a TV in here and you take some boards and you just strap them across here, screw them. In the wintertime you'd have to take it in unless you're not worried about the TV freezing. We have a little bit higher than normal garage door, but here's the unique thing in the garage. Because it's only a 2-car garage width, we created 1 stall deeper. So we actually have a 3-car garage with a 2-car garage door. One of the other things that's a little unusual about this house, when I design custom homes, I always have to figure out what's the front of the house because we want that to look the best. In this particular case, we had 3 fronts on it. And one front is the one we came in. But this other front here, I call it a front, you and I would call it a side if we're inside the house, faces a predominant road. So I placed 2 windows, I placed a door, I made it look, I put a little quasi porch there, so when you're first driving in, it doesn't look like you're looking at the side of a house. It looks like you're looking at the front of a house. When you look at the back of this house, because it faces another road in the distance a little bit, we had to make that look attractive too. So this is three-sided architecture for three fronts. Oh, let me tell you what just happened. The battery did give out, just like I've been alluding to, and it is now morning. So it is now, 10 hours, 20 hours, whatever it's been, do the math. It's morning, and we are out here, and we're loading the house, so you're going to hear some background noise now as we have a truck out here. I'm back in the garage, kind of where we left off, and I would think I was going to be pointing out, if memory serves, that we have this third car space back here, and this is about 40 foot deep on this side of the garage or so. So this is the area that doesn't have a whole lot of visual impact to it, but it is where you park your car or put some extra things. So we can have a two-car garage, but one stall twice deep. Not exactly the first pioneer to do such a thing. It's been done many times before. Here's the master bedroom edition now. Now, normally the master bedroom is not a part of our Dream 2000, which this is the base model of the Dream 2000 I mentioned earlier. I'll take off my shoes here. And we'll go, let's come on in here. I want to restart your view of this because you're coming in from the garage now. We're going to back you up down the hall, so just keep going. You can walk backwards like that, huh? Isn't that amazing? All right, so I mentioned before that the door goes here to the laundry normally, and this is laundry going about 16 feet long in the standard version of a Dream 2000. But as you come down here, what we've done is we've created a completely different kind of idea here. Very bright because we've got some morning sun coming in, but here we'll turn on some lights. Take a look at the depth of this room. Now this master bedroom is set up a little different. I call this a split shift master bedroom. Split shift master bedrooms refer to bedrooms where one spouse might work at night, other one during the day, or they just have different sleeping patterns. This allows one spouse to come in and use this get-ready area. So we have a dresser here. This would be the perfect wall for a big mirror. We just hung a painting or what have you there, hanging. There's a set of doors here. And this French door set, this dusty French door set, has grooves in it. So it somewhat obscures the view. It has an open ceiling. If you tilt up just a little bit, you'll see that we have a nice crown molding going around the top of these, but there's an open ceiling. So if I close these doors, it's not going to be noise private. This is just for visual. So if one spouse is sleeping, we divided this master into a make-ready area and into this area over here, which is the sleeping area. So let's go into the sleeping area. Open that up. And here we go. Boy, it's bright in here today because we have a lot of sunshine coming out of the east over here. So I hope that doesn't glare you out too much. But the sleeping area is really just for that. So there's no furniture in here as far as dressers. There could be, I suppose, but we have a space here. Swing around this direction over here so you can see it from this side. Maybe then you're not looking into the sun quite as much. We have as a space here, we've molded or designed this into the wall so that this bed-in set is sitting into the wall a bit. This is just a queen bed, but it's designed for a king-size bed plus 2 3-foot side dressers or side tables. This window over here, obscured glass, is built into the over the headboard directly. This brings natural light through the house. I call this a room-to-room window. I use a lot of room-to-room windows lately because I love the fact that you can transfer the daylight that's in this room. We have a lot of heavy daylight in here through into the bathroom area. We do have a window in the bathroom, but this just makes a lot more light in that bathroom, and we want to try to disperse natural light throughout the home. I have as a now I'm going to really get you dizzy. Well, let's show you this wall. We have here is a design technique. These little blue tapes mean we have some touch-up to do, so pay no attention to those. But you can see how we've drywall layered this. This is one layer of drywall, and then we put this layer on top of it. And again, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do because you have to take and put little tiny moldings all over it to make this kind of thing happen. And if you look up a little bit, you'll see that we've created a stripe. Now we could paint this on the wall, but for some reason, sculpted stripes look a whole lot better than painted stripes. Go figure. We have another one of those over the bed in that window that I just showed you a moment ago. And take a look at the reverse angle of our peak over top shelf. See how that goes? We've got that area so that if we close the doors, I'm going to walk by you here, excuse my head, that this is how it looks when we close off this area. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this that well, but maybe if you try to get in that corner, walk over in that corner by that right side of the headboard. 9-foot patio door. We planted 7 trees outside. I knew that the problem with this lot when I bought it was that we had a neighbor and some things going on. And this is really our view of our wooded ravine and our wooded area. So for privacy's sake, we planted these 14 or 16 foot tall pine trees outside and evergreen trees. 9-foot glass door. We're all set up here to put a deck on here. We're not putting a deck on here, but it is all set up for that. We do have a, well, I'm going to turn it off and on over here. Take a look at our TV. One of the problems we have when we do a lot of glass, let's say this is a lake house, and that we want the bed to view the lake. So we put the wall in such a way that the master bed can be looking directly at the view. Okay, but then you need a spot to put the TV. And if you put all window there, what do? We can approach that by doing an elevator TV that comes up out of the floor or out of the headboard. But in this particular case, we did an angled corner. You see how this is kind of suspended off the floor? Now this allows us to put, you know, a 42 to a 50-inch TV here. I think this is about a 42. And the bed can see it on an angle. Now, if you can take the sun glare and look over in this direction, you'll see that we have a similar one on this side. Someone pointed out to me this wasn't the design reason, but somebody said his and hers TVs. You can put the hers here and the his there, and both kind of share with your headphones or take them off and share what you have on your image. The lighting underneath these two, we have a light underneath these two. Now, don't follow me. Go back that way. We're counterintuitive here. Let me show you something. This is night lighting. You see me turning it on, turning it off? This is night lighting so that you have a little next to the bed, we put the switches, and that allows you to have a little bit of ambient lighting without having to turn on all the lights in the room. Another thing while we're in here, you'll notice we changed our woodwork. We had a medium, sort of leaning dark woodwork in the rest of the house, and in here we've suddenly gone to white. I love white in a bedroom, especially a master bedroom, but it's just a preference of mine at the moment. That can change because it gives you sort of a restful feeling to the whole idea. Very kind of coastal look. We'll come out of here. We'll give you a view of the other side of the house, looking from that direction. So stay right over there by the bed, and I'm going to close this door for just a moment. And let me see. We've got an alcove right here. Now this alcove is for a tall boy dresser. So the tall boy dresser would go there, and then the long dresser here. We have a couple of pictures in it right now. And we're taking the house apart, and my movers need a little bit of direction. So I'm going to cut right here, but we'll be right back. Well, that didn't take long. Look at that. I'm back. All right. So I'm going to walk toward you here. And you're going to walk around the corner and try to see how this is going to look. Come on around. Okay, we're in the bathroom. If you give yourself a little bit of perspective, step back a couple of steps so you get an idea of where this is located. You're in the get ready area for the morning, and you're standing right over by the dresser as you've come in the door. And this is the... you can see what we've done here with our carpet line. We've taken our carpet and transferred our tile with sort of this semicircle idea. And you can also see what we've done here. Got some drawers to clean out, it looks like. We have a nice set of drawers and doors here and on a full extension glide. Our kitchen, and these are all Merillat cabinets, but this is a little bit higher end Merillat. We have the birch solid drawer sides with dovetail construction and the soft closed drawers. This is a 30-inch tall or 31-inch tall cabinet. This is Corian on the countertop. And this is a waterfall faucet. So Take a look, see if you can catch that. If you like playing video games, this is sort of the joystick for hot and the joystick for cold and the joystick for fast and coming down. There you go. Beautiful. You can get these in so many different colors, blacks to reds or whatever color you want. And this is in sort of a obscured glass, sort of a sandblasted glass. The big nice round mirrors and the little raised towel curio here. We can take this all the way to the ceiling, but this kind of gives you a little separation, still gives you a spot to put things, gives you a lot of place to put towels. I know it's a little hard to see from your angle, but here's one thing you can see. This one I mentioned is at 30 or 31 inches. This is at about 36 inches. So this would be for a taller person. That would be for the slightly lesser of height person. And otherwise they're identical. Excuse me. Boy, morning. On that side over there, we have a master closet. On this side over here, we have the bathroom. Let's go to the bathroom first. The bathroom, if you step back just a little bit, you'll see has a nice alcove as you come in. There is a pocket door here. We do a lot with pocket doors lately. And that gives a little bit of privacy, but it keeps this kind of open. Now we are open over the ceiling here on this side. So if you aim up a little bit, you'll see that over going into the bedroom area again. That's what we have there. But of course, this is a toilet area. So we want to keep this area separated from the rest. So if you look over here, we have a toilet area. Again, you'll notice that if we use white woodwork, we like to use brown trim on the bottom for the shoe. That way, if you are cleaning the house and mopping, you don't get the white woodwork quite so dirty. You do have up here magazine alcoves or book alcoves, so a little library next to the toilet never hurts. And here's a unique item. Stay there a moment, because you're going to need a little bit of perspective on this. This is the window you saw from the other side. You notice the ceiling, how we've gone all the way up. Even though we're closed off now from the rest of the house, we have this soaring ceiling. We have the light coming through on this window, and we have light coming through on this window. This window is located up high. It gives you some view, but only if you're pretty tall like I am. So this is a lay-down shower. Now, a lay-down shower is sort of a unique item for us. It involves a very neat pool float, the kind you've seen at the resorts that have the built-in headrests. And it involves, I know it's very sunny out there, so I'm going to try to block out some of the sun with my body for you while I step up on this and give you a double example here. There we go, the shower head. So here what we have is a real long step. So come on over here a little closer and see if you can catch this. Not so much as a step, but sort of a built-up bed, as it were. And it's perfect seating height, at least for me. And it has about a 6'4" length to it. So if you look all the way down, you'll see the 6'4" length, and it's about 30 inches wide. Now, if I flop down the cushion, you'll see that. This is where I wish I was about 20 pounds lighter here. You'll see that it has a headrest and that it works real nice, even though I'm 6'2". I've got plenty of room here. Now, why would you want to lay down in a shower? When you think about it, if you were to lay down in a bathtub, you'd drown, because there's no, you don't lay down in a bathtub, you sit up in a bathtub with your feet out. It's not quite the same experience. These shower heads can be aimed in various directions. And if you wanted to option this, and this is just an option, we haven't done that in this house, you can get additional hooks. I'll turn my back to you here, it's a little bit tight quartered. Then you could hook it right here. And then you can turn on the shower head to different massaging settings. There's 2 shower heads in here. And they can be used obviously standing up like a regular shower. So all you've really done is taken a shower and built a traditional seat that you might want to sit on a little longer and a little deeper. And then the other shower head was right where you walked in. You can see that we ran a tile stripe around here. out of 2x2-inch tiles, and it's just a very nice look in here. A couple of lights up on the top. You don't need to see it. You've seen lights before. They're there. So let's reverse angle this. This is where we're going into the closet. So we go down this direction, and you'll see something here. Kind of unusual to find pocket doors that close up to each other on a French pocket door, as it were, so that you're probably going to leave these doors open all the time, would be my guess, because it was designed to work that way, so that you're not really looking in the closet very often. But in the closet, we have the long hanging on both sides. We have a double hangers here, a little bit of stuff down on the floor here, which isn't needed. We will take that stuff out of there. We're moving out of here shortly. And you can see it's open over the top. Now this open over the top trick, let me just walk over and turn off the lights, but you stay right where you're at here. And there. In turning off that light and stepping back, you'll see that there's still quite a bit of light in this closet. By opening up the top of the wall, people ask, why do you do that? It helps with air circulation, but of course, and heating, cooling, but it also helps with keeping daylight through the house. We're able to get the daylight all the way through the house. So coming back this way, we've now finished the master bedroom. Notice that the door here is painted white on this side. When you decide to do a transition from white to brown, and on this side, it has the other color so that it works on the other side of the hallway. So that's how we do our transitions from one color to another. I'm going to go a little unorthodox here. Since we have our movers wanting to take out some of the appliances here, we're going to go and visit what is really kind of one of the grand finales for this house, which is our basement. So come on down. Let's go down the hallway here. The basement happens to be on a very good traffic path from the garage, so that if you look from the garage, we're trying to get you to your kitchen, so you have a nice, good grocery path. We're trying to get you to your laundry room, so that you can take off your clothes or what have you and take things. But we also are trying to get you to the master bedroom. The master bedroom, by the way, I didn't mention this before, is segregated from the rest of the house. There's nobody living over you. There's nobody living on any side of you. The only side that connects to the house is the laundry room, which I mentioned before is double walled, so that you have, if you have a very loud house, a party going on, you can still go in your master bedroom and get very good silence. And that's something that a lot of master bedroom first floors don't have. They have people living over you or people living under you. This is way in the back under the basement. There's not a lot happening under in that area, unfinished. So come on over again. We will take an additional look as to where you're at. Master bedroom was behind you and the hallway, and great room in front of you, kitchen on this side. Let's go down the stairs. Nice and slow so you can get the impression of the reveals. And there we are. Welcome. And the basements are going to be very hard to comprehend from this video, because it's just, you have to be sometimes at places to be able to really feel them. But this basement was designed to be having your own restaurant or your own nightclub at your home. So if you entertain, as you come down, the first thing you'll see is a curved snack area. Now this snack area buffet has a few drawers. This is a standard construction with just the particle melamine finishes. You have two under-counter refrigerators, so you could have soda or beer or whatever your tastes are. And you can, just like a restaurant, remember now, the top of the stairs we have a kitchen. So at the bottom of the stairs, here we have this buffet, so you could service that. We have a little bit of hard surface under it. This is vinyl that looks like painted or stained concrete, acid wash concrete. But we've done some really remarkable things with flooring in here, and we're going to get you dizzy looking up and down. Because if you look up over here, we have a protruding wall coming down. If you look over here, we have a window. Now, the impression when you first come downstairs is that, and believe me, if you're here, we have people asking us this, you know, this is great that we have exposure. There is no exposure here. This is a false window that gives us the impression that you have daylight because we're using fluorescent light, which differs from the light in the room. Therefore, that gives you the mental impression that there's daylight out there because it's not the same light as in the room. Boy, did you keep up with that. All right, so over here, and this is a kitchenette. So stay there for a minute. I'm going to give you the idea of depth. You go way back here. Kitchenette. It's not a full-fledged kitchen because there's no dishwasher except for yourself. There is space for one, though. But look at the curves that we've done here. From that angle, I want you to appreciate the room for a moment. Let's just pan over in all directions so you get an idea of where you're at. Hope our music isn't too loud for you here. There we go, our built-in soundtrack here. So, we have a nice curved idea going on here. This is all, the hardest thing to build in construction is curves, so we've got plenty of them down here. Take a look at the floor again. I said I was going to get you dizzy, and I meant it. This floor has vinyl here, and a very tight, perfect line joining the two of them, which is not the easiest thing to do, vinyl to vinyl. The countertop is a countertop that is not uniform. It keeps going out, so it starts narrow and starts going wide. This one does not. This one stays consistent. So we have a curve going this way and a curve going this way. Very organic in the way that it feels. If you look over the top, you'll see the header. We've given a drop header here of about 1 foot from the ceiling, and it curves all the way around the room. So if you kind of get that view of the room, you'll see how we've done drywall layering. This color here is 2 layers. We have a single layer there, and then the darkest color is the actual ceiling, the first layer of the ceiling. So the build downs for the curves, amazing amount of things happening down in this basement visually. Very exciting type. Take a look at what we've done here with the sink, the kitchen area that is. We've done a round sink. Why would we do a round? Well, kind of a round room, right? A lot of curves. So we did a round sink. And it's not meant to be a huge kitchen, but enough to cook some pizza, or here you have the microwave. Here we have a stove, which is all going into the truck in a few moments. That's why we're going out of order here. And here we have a refrigerator freezer. This could be a much bigger refrigerator freezer. We've sized it for a full-fledged one. This corner here is where our sump pump is, by the way. And for you to get to it, you pull out the stove. When you pull out the stove, there's a hole inside in the wall, and you can then get back there. Over here in the cabinets, we have a little tray cabinet. Oh, it's very hard to see, I understand. The lighting is not bright here. By the way, you also notice we transitioned to a dark color downstairs. This is almost black. In here, we have electronics. These electronics, and you can barely see them again, these electronics operate the television set or the theater set over there, and the one behind you that's immediately behind your camera shot. There's a spot for a small dishwasher right here, but I really like a spot in every basement open, not a cabinet, so you can stack 24 packs of soda or beer or what have you. Let's do a little ring around the rosy. You go over by the stove, I'll go over this way. We did a cabinet over here. We did a curved front on this countertop and a little drywall build out so that this cabinet is not flat against this wall. Kind of an interesting effect. We do have some raw exposed concrete here with the pattern of brick on it. We can see that better in another area, so we won't concentrate on that because the lighting is not here perfect for that right now. So coming and taking the view again of what this looks like, look out from the bar at the rest of the room. So if you're the bartender, this is what you're seeing. I'm going to give you a sense of depth again, so I'll go way over here. Okay, it's a 70-inch television. So let's walk around this direction. All right, very good. Stay right about there. We've done some built-ins here. Since we want this to be somewhat like a restaurant, we can seat 25 or 30 people down here. This Formica table is really just built in with walls, so it really is a movable table. We've carpeted underneath it. We could remove it, as I recall. Of course, I hope I'm recalling correctly. We have electric coming under the floor, so that way if you wanted to put a lamp on here of some kind or electric of any kind, you'd have it without stretching a cord across the floor. Over in this direction, we have a great little 3-seat table. Could be 4, just don't have enough chairs. And this here, if you were sitting here, you could kind of see the TV over here. So everybody's focused to see the main theater screen. And if you were to sit here, this grouping here is also, even though they're on a triangle to each other, these people can talk to those people there, which is a good triangle idea. This bar area, which is behind you, you don't have to swing around and look at it, can be watching their TV, or they could spin around and watch this one. Come on into this grouping area, and let's take a look what looks beyond here. Stand over in there and try to get a full view of this. Here we have a couch, full couch here, and you have the beautiful curves again. We've noticed how we've put a light here and a light there. This is some of that concrete wall I was talking about, and here you get a better view. I know this CD so well, it's going to get loud in a moment, so or DVD so well. Come on over here and take a look at this, and you're going to have to be putting up with a little bit of more music here going on. We've taken and we've painted this brick pattern that is molded into the concrete wall so that it looks like reclaimed brick, maybe the old brick that you painted over, like a loft. It's kind of a industrial look. Here we can see how if you can get close enough to this, you can see how we've really done a really accurate job of putting caulk in here because the drywall is going to be joining up against here. And if you kind of look at the other side, there you go. You have to drill into the concrete wall to get your pictures hung, by the way. And there you go. And if you look all the way down, you'll see we have another one there too. So, and you also see the reverse speaker over here. Our wall there has the rear surround sound speaker on it. Now, let's take a look at the theater area. Again, just the theater wall. Step back a couple of steps so you can get the whole arch in if you can. This is really a central point as you come down in the basement. This big arch, again, done in drywall. Now, why wouldn't we do this in wood? Well, there's more expense in that, but once again, you can spray the texture on and it doesn't flake off. If this was on wood, it would flake off. So here we have this wonderful arch. We can do this 2 ways. This is a 70-inch television I have behind me. This could be over 100 inches easy and fit in here if you wanted to go to that expense. You could also do a drop screen. The drop screen would hide behind here, and we're set up on the ceiling. You don't have to look at a couple of outlets on a ceiling, but believe me, about 15 or 16 feet from here, we have a couple of outlets that will provide a projector. And that projector would be right over the table or over that couch over here so that you're not going to walk into it. But this seemed kind of like a clean way to do it. And again, the brick showing. And here for the attachment point, we did this sort of a wall build out. And now you can walk back here and take a look, see what we've got behind here. You see how we've lit this up. We've painted dark wall over here, so if you're sitting down, you're not going to see that. If you're up on top, we have track lights. There we go. By the way, if you like our music, this is called Celtic Thunder Mythology is what you're listening to. Celtic Thunder Mythology. So, a little spot over here, if you stand in that direction, now we'll get all 4 corners of this room. I think you've got in every other corner. I've got we have an old Pac-Man machine on loan to us here, but this Pac-Man machine would be the spot normally for another couch. This room was designed to fit 3 couches, one right behind where you're standing, one right here, and one identical to this one right here. So you have this U shape all watching the television. It has 2 exit and entrance points here and there. And take a look at the floor, what we've done here. Get you dizzy again. Pull this out of the way a little bit so you get a better view of it, what we've done with the carpet. You see how we've swung the carpet to go with the arc of the room. And take a look at the ceiling arcs again from that direction. You'll see that we have a lot of build-outs on this side as well. We get quite complicated. Everything arcing out of this room comes from a center radius point of this round room we're about to go into. So everything, we string lines, and the edge of this countertop comes off of there, the edge of the flooring, all the build downs, etc., they all come off of there. Okay, this way, take a look at this floor and this room in general. It's quite a unique room. If you were in a restaurant, they always have that room that is set off to the side for private parties. This would be that private party room, if it were a restaurant, that is. So you can see what we did with the ceiling. This is where everything emanates off of this point. So this was just done with paint on these pipe pieces. But this was done for a special reason. I'm going to see if I can show that to you. This is a circular room. One of the things Frank Lloyd Wright would do is he'd play with domes. Now, domes were, of course, something that has a nice effect to it. But have a seat in this chair. I'm going to show you something as a camera guy here. I'm going to sit over here in this chair. Okay. One thing that a dome does is it amplifies sound, and it keeps it in one area. So therefore, we built down this ceiling to 7 feet, so we could put a 1-foot high dome in here. If you were sitting here at this table talking to 5 or 6 or 8 people that could sit at this round table, you'd be able to have a much more intimate talk, because we have amplification that's going on. So I don't have to raise my voice as loud to have you hear it over there. Another thing that you're going to hear here is, or see here, is how this works. You're sitting across the table, we're talking, playing cards, eating. Let's say that you have a ball game on that you want to watch, or a movie or something that's going on, or some Christmas things. Look at how you can see the TV over my shoulder. Okay? Now, on the other hand, I'm going to trade places with you right now. You're going to sit in the opposite direction of where I am right now. And this round room has 3 TVs in it. And here we go. I go over here. Okay. So here we have another TV that's right behind me. And so as I'm talking to you and you're talking to me, you can both keep score of what's happening on the game if you wanted to. But it is impolite in some circles to be watching TV while you're with a group of people, unless of course it is a sports type event. So what we've done is we've tried to put in what we call ambient images, TVs that show you things that you don't have to watch. There's no plot, there's no story, there's no music. Matter of fact, if I turned off the music in the other room, all you'd see is images. Here you see Bradford Beach. We took 3 cameras down to Bradford Beach, and we shot from the same perspective in 3 different directions. We also did the same thing at the zoo, in Door County, at the domes, Holy Hill, all over the place, so that you can get this continuous loop of images, and you can really feel like you're about anywhere. You don't have to watch anything, but these TVs are providing a great ambiance to the room. So come on in this direction over here. You're already in, but come on over in this direction over here, and you'll see that we have a big alcove here, and this alcove has a great amount of space. So you could put a 100-inch TV here. Now let's think of other applications for this room that you wouldn't want to put a table in the middle of it. You could put a round or an octagonal bumper pool table in the middle. It's sized for that. We also could put in, step over here, let's take a look at this. You could also take this room and put furnishings, single chairs, love seats, couches, big ottoman in the middle, let's say a big round ottoman. Put a chair here, chairs all the way around this entire room. And that way you'd be able to watch the large screen that I just showed you the large alcove for over there. And a little bit of inside stuff here. We have a spot here for your electronics that operate the electronics just in this room. So Beautiful light fixtures. Thank you, BBC Lighting downtown. Little mix of industrial and crystal together. Very nice, eclectic look to it. An opening here, so you can see through to the theater. You're not enclosed in a room. You're open to the next room. Openings in a basement are like a window is on the upper floor. It allows you to escape visually from the area, so you don't feel that confined. We're going to change positions so you can go over where the entrance door is a little bit. I want to show you the art alcoves here. Now these art alcoves could be shelves, glass shelves, and we'd have a nice area for something. We could be busts, but you can see what we did here is we just wanted to provide a splash of color. Now when you have TVs, like we're doing in here, that are visual TVs, they become your artwork in the room. So if you're going to have artwork in the room that is your TV, you don't want to upset that by using pictures of cows or churches or landscapes on the wall. You want to stay obscured so that it kind of doesn't really fight with your other moving artwork. So here you see what we did was we have these sort of surrealistic, impressionistic sort of art. We have blue one, a red one, different colors here going on with the earth tones and things. And it just gives you a nice splash of color. Unifies to the other area. We put these in this direction over in the other room. So here you see, by the way, on the TVs, we're just, if you're looking back again, it's the color of red we've just switched to. And here we have Disneyland. So we took the cameras over to Disneyland and shot some footage there so that it just looks like you're standing up on Main Street, and there you are. Moving back in this direction. By the way, a room-to-room window here, obscured glass. So much to look at in every room. We have the little lights along the ceiling here that light up the art areas so that you have nice pull into the room as you're looking into the room. Coming back here, we've created sort of a hallway, curved hallway. And because curves are very hard to do with square doors, we've done kind of a neat cheat. We've taken the carpet and created the visual of the curve, but we've kept the doors back here somewhat. So here you have the future bathroom. Okay, here you have a future bedroom or an exercise room or an office or who knows what. There's the other side of that square window. And you can see in order to make a square go on a curved wall, what we've done is we've built this out very heavy here with wood so that it takes the curve. Back here, because every hall you're going down, I like to have a focal point toward the end of it, whether that's just a light, whether it's a window. In this particular case, we decided to put an alcove here. No real use for the alcove, other than that it just looks good. So here you have a spot for a candle or something to put up there. We did our fun thing with wallpaper in this house. We didn't use much of it. Wallpaper is not that back yet, but it is coming back. We've got a shiny wallpaper that has sort of an African look to it, and it's black on black, shiny against flat. So it has a nice sort of a look to it here. Let's go take a look at the empty area. Here you go, get the full length here. This is a really large room. We have a lot of thoughts for what this could be used for. You can see again the nice sunny window here. This is an egress window we installed. Here's how the brick looks before we treat it on or the brick pattern rather. And we have 2 electric panels because there's a lot of electric in the house. There's also a lot of cabling in the house. And there's just a lot of storage. We were going to put a wall here right underneath this beam, and then this would become a walk-in closet. Then the rest of this room over here, we were going to create some fun alcove for the bed. This was just going to be a post or a pillar made out of drywall to take up for the clean out for the septic system and do a drop here over the bed. So we had this all figured out. And then the bathroom over here, you might get a better idea of what the bathroom is from this side. Let me walk through here. And you'll see how this is. This would have been for the bathtub over here, toilet over there, and come a little closer over here. We'll walk through this way. Let's see if we can get your elbows from the camera guy out through the 2 studs there. Very good. All right, look at that. A little bit of a unique area. You can, a little imagination as well to figure this out. We're going to have a sink here, or we would if we were going to finish this out. And because there's area on the other side here that is your mechanicals, there's a lift for your that isn't a sump pump, but that is a lift for the bathroom, because you have to get your waste up, so that's a waste lift. There's a water heater here, there's a furnace over here. This is what we do to make a towel cabinet then go into the wall, so that we're not just having a 2-foot deep towel cabinet sticking out into the middle of the room, taking up more valuable space. We're able to use a little bit of that space inside there, make it kind of a nice statement. We can put it in up to this height here, put a countertop up here so we can put something here. Making these cabinets go all the way to the ceiling is a nice idea if you're trying to store towels for 100 people. But when you really only have a few people that you're storing the towels for, you're taking up visual space. So when you open up this room, it already feels tight. So we're able to see over that, always thinking about the next person that's going to be coming in here. Bath fan's already up there. We already have the ceiling dropped. Won't be hard to finish this out the rest of the way. Speaking of the rest of the way, let's get up and see the rest of this house. So on the way out, you see how it feels as you're coming out. And there's the art alcoves. And here's our Disneyland picture here, and our other 2 pictures there. I'd like to give you rooms from all different angles. In case you missed it from one angle, you can get it from another. And again, to try to find this curve, because we have a 7-foot ceiling, we just did a little 2.5-inch drop curved going through here to define that circle. And then we took color stripes and went around with paint. But this paint joins into the rest of the architecture out here as it takes the line of the center point of the round room all the way through this room. Take a look at what we're doing over here under the stairs. I like using every square inch of space I can possibly get because it's all valuable. And here you have the under part of the stairs. This stairs wall, if it would have come down, would have sliced this table. It would have been way too small. This table would have been tiny. So this gives us a nice big opening. And by the way, what I really like about this table and this little opening is that if I'm sitting here, you don't have to see it from my angle, but I can see the TV through this opening, and I can see that TV. So this is really a great seat to sit in. I can also see the bar real well. So I like this seat because it has various uses seeing into the different rooms. That's enough about the basement, I suppose, except for our storage room. We have another storage room. One of the things with basements, when you finish out a whole basement, there's no room left for storage. Well, you saw that we had a room in the back that was unfinished, but if I finished that out, there'd be no room for storage. If you have to walk through the whole basement to get to your storage, that's kind of a hassle. So right at the bottom of the stairs, whenever possible, I like to put a spot for storage. And look at what we've done here. If you have this door open, then the normal convention is you have your concrete starting right here because that's where the door opened. In this case, we've taken carpet and we have the door on the carpeting sweep. So it kind of, if you have that door open, it doesn't look like you have a basement right there. So you come down the stairs with boxes from the garage, and you have a spot here to unload and put some shelves and things. We kind of kept this area just for storage. There's not a whole lot of mechanicals here. Remember, we put all those mechanicals right through this little area here. This is the other side of that art alcove and that hallway that we were going down. So here we have it. We've got a fairly open area. And by the way, while we're down here, take a look at one thing. These are 2x12 floor joists. They're made out of Douglas fir. Now, one of the things we do at Miracle is we've always been, this sounds like a commercial, but hey, it kind of is, isn't it? This is a very high-end quality item. If you go to the Prada home, you go to any builder's home, and you look up in the basement, that to me immediately tells me what that builder's all about. And if you're using TJI floor supports, that is an invitation for danger down the road, in my opinion. Most fire departments around the country are trying to outlaw the very item in a home that is being used by people in all new construction. The builders in new construction are using TJIs. That's a particle board floor joist instead of solid wood. Particle board with a top and bottom cord, as we call it, but a 2x2 on the top and bottom, essentially. all glued together. The lumber companies are pushing this very heavy. We get pushed on it all the time. But if you look at it, Kent Wainscott on Channel 12, he did a report on how they burn so quickly. When you start one of those on fire, they burn like that. Houses collapse in about a half hour. If you have a basement fire, that house could be collapsing before you'd ever get out of the house. The firefighters fighting the fire have a lot of trouble going into the house after the house is on fire. They just go up very quickly. The 2x12 solid lumber gives you 3 to 4 hours of burn through time that house still stays safe. So we've been a very big advocate of it. And if you're going to use 2x12 lumber, instead of using inexpensive pine, use the Douglas fir. Douglas fir is very long grained, it's very stiff. So when you're walking through the house, we hear people all the time say, wow, this is really incredibly strong. And it just feels very good underfoot. It doesn't have a lot of give to it. Of course, we glue, screw, and nail down our floors in our Miracle series. In our Dream series, it's fastened a little differently, so I ask about that. And so the 2x12 floor joists are also connected to something that no other builder in this area is doing, so says the lumber companies we use. We use green pressure treated deck lumber on our outside board that goes all the way around the house that all of these attach to, called a rim joist if you're in the business. Nobody else is doing that. People do use 2x12 green treated on the top of the sill, which, by the way, they weren't doing because it wasn't required about 5, 6, 7 years ago. We were doing it even then. So we're always concerned about the quality of the home. First and foremost, beyond any of this wild design thing that we do, that's why when you see our homes, you won't find a hollow door generally that isn't filled and solid. You won't find 2x4s studs that are a common grade. You'll find a step up on that. You'll find 8-pound carpet pad in some of our series where other builders use 6-pound carpet pad in all their series. So always a little extra quality feature here and there. Could go on forever, but we have to see a house. So let's get up and see the rest of this thing. All right, before we head upstairs, we're going to wrap this up real quick here. I want to just show you something we forgot to show you before. This is the kitchen area. We've used a dark granite on the countertops. We have lighting up in here that is hidden behind the wall area here. Kind of bright out right now, so you'll take my word for it that it lights up well enough. We have here is a pantry. The pantry is a nice idea. The pantry has had a lot of incarnations over the years, but if you come on in, maybe I should get out of the way. That might be the better way to do this. A little more room without me in there. You'll see that this is about a 6x7 area, and we've put a counter in it. Take a look at how we've angled the countertops on the sides so that you can still reach back and get into the shelves on the side. And that cabinet allows you to put a Mixmaster or some appliance back there if you wanted to, and still have some storage in a couple of drawers and some pullouts. Pretty nice area to go in. So let's try to follow me now. Let's go upstairs. We're going to walk down this aisle here. You notice we've got hardwood on here. You'll also notice from that angle that we have the flush entrance going in. That this is wheelchairable, as I mentioned, from the outside. I don't know if we ever looked at that from the inside. And I'm going to walk upstairs, and you kind of follow me. This is your look when you come up the stairs. So come on up. We've talked about transitioning to color. In the basement, we just had that very dark brown, which is almost chocolate color. Up here, take a look what we have here. We're trying to bring the element from downstairs upstairs, so it doesn't look like we're a one-shot wonder in one area. We're trying to make this join together visually. So here we have a tree. You'll notice again the drywall that we have built out here, drywall built out here, and putting these corners in. This is something that is a drywall channel. So you have a very tight channel here and a very tight channel here, and somewhat stained glass look like I mentioned before. And look at what we've done with our handrail. Now we could have done this. This is a half wall. It's going up to our third floor. Basement, main floor, this floor, third floor. Third floor is really a fourth floor if you start counting from the basement. So up here we're transitioning to white color. You see the white again on bedrooms. I like white on bedrooms. It doesn't have to be, it's just a preference. Here you have on this floor you have 3 bedrooms. Let's take a look at all 3. There's no furniture in them right now. So this bedroom I like, but it's going to have a lot of sunlight for you right now. As soon as you walk into this bedroom, we have a walk-in closet here. This is it has a great view of the ravine. I designed this room so that you'd be able to put a queen-size bed on this wall, and you'd be able to look out at the Wooded Ravine. So this has a great space to it. I'll give you the sense of size. This is a fixed window. It does not open or close. It's just a fixed window. This is your opening and closing window. This is the one that's getting a lot of sunlight coming in from the east right now. So go over into that corner, take a look at the size of the room from the other angle. It's a fairly good sized room. So you'd put a headboard right here, and it's right across, centered on that window, that 5-foot window there. And I want to now put you over here looking out the window. So if you were laying in bed, this would be sort of your view right now. And I think it's quite a view. This Wooded Ravine is just wonderful. It's not looking over a lake, but it's just about the next best thing, in my opinion, to be looking over a wooded ravine. It goes down. It's private. It makes this land feel like it's about 4 or 5 acres, when in fact you're only paying taxes for about 1.25 acres. In this direction, through this window, if you can see that without getting the sun glare, there's a retention pond. So this has a view of woods and a view of water. It's a great view. And there you see those tall trees we talked about. And you can see that some of the view of the road that we're trying to block out. You see the truck passing the band there, and another truck. So this house has to look good from the backside. I pointed out before when I talked about 3 or 4-sided architecture. Let's go look at the other rooms. So we have another bedroom on the front of the house, walking through this area. Let me turn on some lights here in front of you. There we go. Now this bedroom has a front view, and you can see, if we look down here, is a good view of our landscaping, also a good view of what we're doing with our circles, and a good view of what we're doing with our moving today, because there's some stuff coming out of the house right now. There's the area down below that had the little observation area, little front porch sitting area, and can see how this works with the stone pillars from here very well too. How that kind of has a nice entryway. That's your front entrance to the home that you're looking at right now. And this is unusual. When you walk into this room, there's our door that we just walked in over here to give you a sense of where you're at. When you walk into this room, you see a window view here. So kind of step over in this area with the camera, and let me give you a sense of what you're seeing. Excuse me. We have a beautiful window bank here, and a lot of natural light coming in. This would normally be, this is a closet, all right? So how do you make use of a closet and still make it visual? We'd normally put a door right here, right? So that'd be the closet, but you'd get rid of all your beautiful lights and things. So we put a nice fixture on the ceiling, and this is a doorless closet. We've been doing quite a few doorless closets lately. There are reasons for them, and this is a perfect reasoning here. I can hang up all my clothes right here, and you can't see it from the room unless you're literally getting into the closet area. So your clothes can hang up here. Now we would normally suggest that somebody put what we call obscured a glass in this area, here and here. It's sort of a film that's put on like wallpaper. You slice it out, you placed it on from this line down, so you still have daylight coming through here, or still natural view rather coming through there, but you have daylight coming through the whole area. This is all built out drywall again, angled drywall, corner drywall. Very extensive, very detailed type work. And over here we have a little closet also. So this is another doorless closet. You can see we have some spots around the corner. You'd have to literally go around the corner to see that we have 3 shelves there. We're trying to use every inch of space we can. So this bottom shelf is over the stairwell. It's actually the angle that's formed going over the stairwell. So we're able to get a lot more space out of the room. I could put another shelf up here if I wanted to as well, get 4 out of it. So good enough for this room. We have 1 more room on this floor, and that one is over in this, well, 2 more rooms if you want to count the bathroom. We might as well count the bathroom, huh? Over here is the bathroom, and what I like about the bathroom in this particular case, it's not a very unusual bathroom. But it does have 2 sinks in it. And again, they're the pump type look on the handles. This is only an 18-inch deep counter. Now, you've seen vessel bowls that stick up, and you've seen, of course, sinks that go completely in. This is a nice design. It just comes up a couple of inches off, makes a nice look, gives a nice definition. Because we're using white woodwork up here, because we're using white toilet, white tub and shower module, which is over here, the bathtub that is, this carries that white look through. This looks like ceramic tile on the floor here, and very pretty at that, but it's actually vinyl. They've come so far with vinyl. You can see we mix up our handles a little bit, so these are not the same handles that you saw in other areas of the home. And behind this door, there's a towel storage area right in the bathroom. You don't have to look at it, but it's there. Let's go over to the last room here on this floor, which is the bedroom. Now, this bedroom has a great feel to it. It has a lot of light, it has a lot of color, it has a little play space in here, but this bedroom is narrow. This is about 9 feet wide, 8.5, 9 feet, and it was envisioned, certainly could be a bedroom, but it was envisioned to be a play space or a den for the other 2 bedrooms. But it does have a full walk-in closet, and you'll see that we have obscured glass in here. And it looks like our folks that closed on this house yesterday already have a few kids' items in the house. It's good to have a house feel lived in. This closet has one of the best views of the pond. Think about that, huh? And over here is, there you're looking at the closet with a view. And we also have this room with a view here. This has a nice view from this. So if you decided to put your bed in here, you'd have a good view. This is something that we're doing to all the rooms. We put our outlet, this is a Cat 5 type product or cable for your TV, and an outlet to plug in your TV up off the floor. So that way, if you were going to have an issue with putting a TV up here, and let's take a regular TV and say you're going to put it same size down here, by putting them at 4 feet, it covers the cord either way, here, 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 wherever you want to put it. But then if you do decide to put it here, you don't have a cord, usually black, going down to your outlet. So this is nice to put this up high like this so that you have some flexibility. If I put a dresser here, guess what? I don't have to reach over the dresser. So it just makes sense. Around the corner here, it's a little bit of a hiding play space, short on headroom, because again, we're using every inch of space. This is underneath the stairs. It's going to be going to our 3rd floor. So there you see, excuse me, what you have there. You know, one of the things that I really enjoy doing, we'll start walking upstairs, is making custom homes for custom lots, because every lot has to be different and should have its own custom home if money was less of an object. Some people, it's a lot of an object, so therefore we have models which are gorgeous and nice too. You can see with this house what we can do with a standard model and convert it to go with a custom lot. In this particular case, we knew that the wooded ravine on that side was premium, but we also knew we had a problem lot. Nobody was buying this lot because houses aren't designed to have a view in that direction and a front door in that direction. I'm repeating a little bit of myself here. So let's go upstairs and show what we did to capitalize on that view. This is normally dead attic space. Nothing used up here except just, insulation. So this is a 3.5 foot wide stairs. At the top, so that we can get furniture up here, couches and things, beds, I widen this to 4 feet. So when we're coming up here, you're 3.5 feet there. But over here, you have 4 feet. And you can see the daylight as you're coming up with this beautiful bank of windows, as much as we can get. We just have a really nice appearance. Now we're starting to change our color scheme. We're now mixing white with dark black. So we have this real heavy contrast going on. And the windows, this can be opened up. So you're on the 3rd floor, but look at the escape route. The escape route is pretty nice for a fire or what have you. You can still get out this window and shimmy your way down and only have to jump 8 feet instead of having to jump 30 feet down. Let's see. Let me turn some things on over here. Get you up into the nicest area, I think, in the whole darned house. Turn on some lights. There we go. I'll just stay way back here like I've done before and give you the The long view. This is 32 feet in length from where you are to here, and it really gives you this dramatic view toward the ravine as you come in. So come on in and just start going in slow and looking at this ravine, because it's quite a dramatic thing if you're here in person. But it is kind of bright right now. But you can see that if you were sitting here or having a bed up here, that you would have this great view to the wooded ravine. It's just a wonderful thing to see nature in this way, that you really have a great view of things. Up here, we used all the dark elm floor, and the hardwood elm here with the little distressed look to it. And you can see we have white woodwork, but we have the nearly black shoe going around here. So we have the ins and outs, because look at what we've done. When you do drywall build out, it's a lot more expensive also because you have to do things like this. So depending how you're using it. But here you have a great view of the room from the opposite direction. So let me go back here and kind of show you what we've got going on all the way from this side. Here's where you were. You're step center to here, and stay way back by the window. So this is coming into the room. Give you a good impression how it looks. As you come into the room, we have a very wide hallway here. Over here, we have a wet bar. And over here, we have seating. If I had the right furniture, I'd have literally 3 couches in here. 1, 2, and 3. And they're all U-shaped, looking out that fantastic view that's right behind you. So if this was overlooking a lake, and this is a 3rd floor, and there was a house across from you because you're on the opposite street from the lake, you could be seeing over that other house by using this attic space. That's truly what we're doing. This is a 3rd floor, but it's also dead attic space. This is an 8-12 roof pitch, so you don't have to go to a 12-12 roof pitch unless you like that sort of thing. There's some great space in here. This could have been a bedroom, and it was actually laid out originally for both purposes. You see the TV we did over there, sort of like down in the master bedroom. We've got the alcove here. We have a lighting underneath it. We held this up high. This could, of course, be a much bigger TV. It could be a 50-inch pretty easily. And once again, if you want to enjoy your view, how are you going to look at your TV? You're really not going to look at a view for 2 hours, but it's nice to have it there for 2 hours while you're watching a movie. And here you have an area rug we've done on the floor, which is kind of cute, using the darks and the lights again with the contrasting. And we're softening the transition between dark and light by putting some taupe with it. If you stay there, I'll maybe just creep in a little bit. I'll show you we have a closet over here. In this closet, we hang going down in this direction, and there's an access door to an attic right there. Then we have, you can again stay right there, I'll show you some other things. We have a complete mirrored area here. This is a narrower area, so I want to provide width. When you do that, in mirrors sometimes. So here you have a wonderful walk-in, semi-walk-in closet. I mean, it has enough space up here to be a walk-in closet, but you can see I still have some paint cans over here. This house was supposed to close a week from now, so we're a little rushed. The owners wanted to get in early, so we're doing this very early on a Saturday morning. Over here, let's walk over that direction a little bit and see what we have here. We have an under-counter refrigerator. We have a microwave shelf, and we have an area here to put a coffee pot. You're 3 floors up. Do you really want to go downstairs to get a cup of coffee or to get a soda? You know, this is a great area in the morning to make a cup of coffee. And of course, you have the sink right here. We have a bathroom too that we walked right by, so we'll get to that in a moment. Let me now get you ring around the rosy over to here and show you how this would set up as a bedroom. And by the way, look at the drywall build out. We've framed this wall in white. Could have painted that, but it just looks so much nicer to have that built out. The bed would go on this wall. And this would be a king size bed. It's size easily for a king-size bed. Over here, TV is still facing you. Your view is still semi-facing you. All right, you're a little obscured to it, but that's the way bedrooms go. Or you could put your bed right here with a table behind it and be viewing directly out here and have the TV. So it's set up either way for that. And as far as where your dressers would go, we have a space in here over here. That's really a nice spot to put a dresser. But we have a great space. Step over that way just a little bit on the hallway. This would be where a 6-foot dresser would go. So you have a 6-foot dresser with the mirror above it right here. All right. Battery went dead. Got a new battery. We're just wrapping up. We have over here is a great idea with coming into the room, having your dresser space I was explaining about, having a closet over here, and having a bathroom. So if somebody's sleeping again, it's not fully private from the sleeping area, but at least it's when you first enter in. Take a look at the bathroom. It's not quite a master bathroom, but it certainly is a master bathroom in some respects. For example, it's a little tight in here, but we have 2 sinks. These are conventional sinks, conventional Formica type countertop. Bank of drawers, conventional construction on the drawers and sides. Here's a towel curio over here. Towel curio so that you have a spot to put some things over here. Maybe you can get a view of that. You want to come around this way a little bit. Oh, that's not the towel curio, that's the shower over there. You want to do that again, huh? It's all right, it's guerrilla shooting. Things happen. So what we have over here is a towel curio that has 4 shelves in it. And if you look over in this direction, as we were going before, cameraman was a little ahead of me, that's nothing new. We have a 42-inch shower. And the 42-inch shower is made in pieces so we could get it up those stairs. So the opposite direction, I'll change places with you. So bring around the rosy cameraman over there. And here was that all-important towel cabinet that we had to do all that for. The area over here is a private bathroom. So you have a toilet area. So like I said, it's not really a master bathroom with the largeness of size, but it does have some nice amenities. The towel curio, the twin sinks, the private toilet room with a window in it to give you a little bit of daylight. And one more little item that I'm kind of proud of over here. This is, and I'm only proud of it, not that it's a fantastic new idea, but that we're using every inch of space again. This is an area that's kind of in an odd area. See how we had to build the shower out because we couldn't put it all the way against the wall. It was too tall. We were using some negative space behind here for that one single closet in the other room. And rather than having to reach back 3 feet in a narrow area, we use some of that for over here. So always trying to figure out how we can maximize stuff. You look at our lighting here. We have a track light here. We're using the angle of the room. We've got a short mirror. And we're pointing this light over in that direction. Track lights are great things. They are able to do a lot of lighting we normally couldn't do. As we're going downstairs, and I'll give you the last view will be of our big mural. I noticed in the beginning of the show I talked about seeing more of that huge mural, and we'll use that as our end shot. So as we're coming down the stairs, you'll see how we have the lookout over the great room. And I told the movers to leave all the furniture in place, at least so we can get this last shot. Here's how it looks if you're standing here by the stairs, looking out over the great room. Maybe you can see better the tree now over the mural on the walls and the beat it stained glass look. Lights from up here. You can see our ceiling maybe a little better because our daylight is a little better with what we've done to get those connection points. You can see the tree reliefs over the fireplace. And I'm going to trade places with our camera guy here as I'm standing in his way. You can see how we have the mural here on this wall. This gives you a much better perspective of how we constructed that with the various layers. Layer 1, this is a layer. You can see the channels, the little grooves that we use to show some of the definition of the mountains. This looks like a canyon with water in it and the clouds and things. And then you see the plant shelf down below, and you can see that we've used lighting up here with just little lights that sit on the plant shelves looking up, so at night you have your corners of the room lit up. As a matter of fact, way over in the opposite corner of the room, we have behind that tall bunch of branches that are tied up, we have a light behind there. Just a nice view all the way around. Good spot to end it. Thank you so much for coming with our guerrilla shooting, and we'll see you at our Frank Lloyd Wright House, which is closing in just a short while. So in just a few weeks, we'll have a video of that as well. Take care.